Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. A while back I posted some pictures of me hiding little things like this, my bush chicken out in the bush. I make these when I'm walking around just out of sticks, and I hide them for kids to find and just something to do. Very easy to do. I'm going to show you today how to make them. By the way, stop by my good friend Scotty Matthews' YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the video. Great content, and I think you should all watch. But that's what it looks like. Well, here we go. We've got our branch, nice and dead. It can be anything, willow, whatever. Something without a lot of pith I like better. I always have a long piece here to work with. You'll see why in a second, and nothing fancy, just a sharp knife. There's no right answer for this either. It can be anything you want. This is just something fun to do. So what I usually do is I usually start by carving off the top and making the head. So if this is aligned, I want the nose to be on this front surface. So I'm just going to prep where the, what I'll tell you, the I don't know, what is it, the comb of the rooster is going to be. Basically the top of his head. See, I've taken off about half of that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. Like so. You can kind of see it's not quite centered, but that's okay. This is supposed to be a bush chicken, not a work of art. I'm keeping them roughly the same thickness. I'm going to try and bring it down to the same place here. Cutting in control. Now, what I want to do is I want to turn this here now into his comb, or her comb. So it can be anything you want. I'm just going to kind of shape it like that. Now I'm going to cut small V's. Be very careful with this because the wood can split. So small bites is good. Oh, see that it cracked on the middle? So if I had my thumb in the wrong place, I would have got cut already. Don't rush yourself. I've got a comb created. You can see that. Now I'm going to notch it at the top a little bit here, just so I can bring the comb back a shade, like so. Okay, now let's do the same thing on the back here again. Now remember, this is thin wood, so if you put a lot of pressure in it and you put your hand behind it and it breaks, you're going to get cut. So I've done that. I'm going to put a little bit of an angle in here just because I feel like it, to make it a little more shapy. Shapy, is that a word? So you can see I've kind of shaped it. I'll do the same thing on the other side now. Carefully. You may need to turn it around. Oops. You may need to turn it around. Maybe you can get your blade in there. In my case, I'm just going to be very, very cautious here. Like so. Like this. All right. Now, this is where I put the nose. I do that just by making a bit of a beak notch. So putting it at an angle. And then I'm going to go in at an angle on this side here. Like so. Again, watching you don't break and cut into your fingers. Now I'm going to remove the material underneath that. Oh, it broke off. You see that? The nose broke off on me. That happens sometimes with this wood. That's okay. We'll just change it. We'll just adjust on the fly. Can still get a nose in here. Just got to be more careful, that's all. There. Now you can see I've got a bit of a beak there. We can change his back of his neck if we want a little bit, bring it down a shade. And so we brought the neck back down. We can thin this up a little bit. Oh, I broke that nose right off again. Look at this, whole thing failed. Well, because of that, it broke. I'm gonna have to start again. So I'm gonna change the head here. Change the head again. You just gotta roll with it. That's what happens. In this case here, the wood is pretty brittle. So now I'm just making a little different head for him. Okay, so a little bit different. We'll try that again. Clean off some material off the front, some material off the back. Let's do our little notch again here. There's a little notch. Again, there's no right or wrong answer to this, folks. It's just what you think you want it to look like. Every one of these is unique and different as well. Keep that in mind. All right, let's do our nose again here. Clean off some material here. So this is where my beak is going to go, right there. Let's do the beak on the other side. like so. Beak on this side. There, and we got a bit of a nose there. Okay, there's the nose. Now let's do the legs. For the legs, there's lots of different ways to do it. I usually thin it down a little bit on both sides. Depends what you want to do. If you want to sharpen this and stick it in the stump and leave it for kids to find in the bush, that's great. If you want to do it for a hat band or something, you can do that. There's different ways. If you use green material, you can actually split it a bit better. Let's see here. I'm going to put his feet down right about here. Make a little stop cut all the way around. Stop cut. Now I'm going to, this will be the bottom of his feet. I'm going to cut that all the way around. Just whittle it off. Okay. Touch that up a little bit. Nothing fancy. Because I put those stop cuts in there, I can actually now cut down to them. Carefully. Carefully. Like so. And you can hear in the background my son's friends with his motorbikes rearing him in the front yard. Sorry about that, everybody. There we go. This is just how I do it. There's a fellow online, and I'll post his name in my comments or in the description, that does this much better than I do. These are just fast and dirty. Okay, so there's what I would call his feet, like so. You can round this off. You can do whatever you want. You can split it very carefully. Now you can stick it on a branch if you want. You can trim that out if you like, whatever. Anyway, that's essentially the chicken, or the chicken. Now we want to do the chicken feathers. So I hold it like this, and I make a relatively long cut, just superficial. See how that went? And I work my way around. Nice. Try and make them all sort of the same. If you use something that's a bit green, you don't get quite as many curls of this. But, and I'm going from the same location here all the way to the same location at the bottom. So I'm stopping in the middle. And eventually it'll cut off, and you're left with, kind of tweak it a little bit, left with your bush chicken. Just like that. And you can decorate it, do whatever you want. Say you wanted to touch this up in the center, you can see where it broke. You can actually go and groove it a little bit to take some material out of there carefully. Pry some out of there, like so. Trim this off like that. Now you see I've made a little bit of a better groove here, like that. You can do the same thing on the back side. If you do this, don't slice into your thumb at the end, because remember, you've cracked it already, so now it's very fragile. So always plan your cuts and make sure wherever the energy you've stored is going to release itself, it releases it someplace away from your body, not into your body. So there. Now you can easily mount it onto a stick. Let's cut a little notch in the bottom here. Carefully. When I say carefully, what I'm saying is go slow, trust your gut, make sure that you take small bites. No sense taking a big giant bite of something. No need to. There. Now you've got it, and you can mount it on a stick if you want, out in the trees. And leave it out in the trees for some little kid to find. There's your bush chicken.